Alright, boys and girls, the time has finally come. I'm sure you've seen this butte in the background of all of my garage-based videos up to this point. It's finally time to work on the Corvette. Now, can't really see much of it at the moment, so let me snap my magic fingers and exposed half of it because I'm not moving all the crap off of it. There she is. I don't know about you, but she's pretty sexy. I am biased, but this is my dad's pride and joy. His baby. Covered everything with painter's tape so you don't dox my dad. Please don't. That'd just be rude. There she is, 1969. Chevrolet Corvette. As my dad likes to say, everything on it is stock. Except it's not. Everything on it is OEM, but not much of this car is still factory, if you ask me. He even has the factory luggage rack, which was not factory with the car, but it is OEM. I believe the hood is new. Has a 427 in it. Came with the 350. Has a manual in it. Came with an automatic. And it even has a trailer hitch and side pipes. Didn't come with side pipes. Didn't come with the trailer hitch. Didn't come with the fiberglass panel back here for the side pipes either. But everything on this car came from 1969 Corvette, although they didn't all come on this car. And between you and me, the whole reason I've gone down this rabbit hole with restoring old, rotten, forgotten engines and old derelict cars and all that jazz is because I wanted the confidence to be able to work on this car so that I knew I was not going to ruin this thing and I wasn't going to break it and I wasn't going to leave it a brick. Because this car means a lot to my dad, and he put all this behind him when me and my sister were born in 1989. When my sister was born, he parked this car. As you can see right there, last time this thing was safetied here in South Carolina, back when we had safeties, was 1988. My sister was born in 89. The last time this car ran was, I believe, 1993 or 4, and I was born in 93. So he gave up this car for us, and I want to make sure he gets this car back now that we're here, and he did a damn good job raising me and my sister. I want him to have his car back, and I don't want to fuck that up. I can stand here and yammer, but I would much rather have my dad tell you all about this car, because he can go on and on and on, because I'm just like him in that regard. I know everything I've done to something, and I know why I did it. And we both like to go down rabbit holes trying to make stuff as best as possible. I'm not exactly like him. I got a lot of my mom and me too. But we're the same in that regard. So I'm just going to pop the hood real quick and just show you around in the engine bay. Just what I'm up against. But I'd like my dad to tell you all about this car and everything he's done with it. Well, as you can see, the interior is pretty much immaculate. My dad was very anal retentive, or autistic as the kids call it nowadays, about his car. He used to be that annoying asshole at the car show who would make people slide their seats forward and pop their trunks and check their weather stripping for whether or not they'd cleaned it. But anyway, the current thing, most obvious thing that's wrong with the car is the dash is out. My dad had the dash apart for some reason. He can't remember why, but he never put it back in. So just to get down here to the hood release, I've got to bury myself in here to be able to find it. So let me try and get out of here without smashing this fiberglass door into a grill or rubbing my big old zippers on top of everything. Alright, here we are. Alright, there she is. Chevy Big Block. Like I said before, this used to have a 350 in it. And then, as you can see by this, it dropped a valve and did one of these. And Dad keeps this over there just so that he can tell this story. Valve spring snapped in half. Valve spring snapped. Dropped a valve. Or this, no, is that a push rod? think that's the push rod there. There's the valve. Dropped a valve. Valve did that, and I forget what he said. I think he said the push rod somehow got, I don't know how, but the push rod somehow got through there. Came in, stuck that, something, what was it? No, I think the valve just beat the shit out of this, and it bent 2 connecting rods, obliterated a piston, snapped a push rod, and all that. So his factory 350 small block is sitting in the laundry room, and has been ever since, because he was just driving through downtown one day and cracked a valve spring, dropped a valve, and bricked the engine. He was just puttering along, and the whole car went and died. And so he bought a parts car, and it's got a 427 in it, so I guess that's a win, technically. Got a Rochester carb in her. Let me see where the hell the accelerator is. I want to see if it's free or not. I think it's buried underneath the air cleaner, or lack thereof of air cleaner. And yeah, this is one of the other things that I know might be an issue is there's all of this sitting on top of the water pump. Fuel bowl is empty, and I know for a fact 100% my dad did not drain this thing, and he did not do anything with the brake fluid. He didn't do nothing. He just parked it and then left it. But it seems that the engine there's some flecks of rust in there. It's not the best sign. But she's survived the 100% humidity for the last 27 years pretty well. All the rubber seems to be in good shape. We don't have a mouse problem around here, so there's no mice in it. And that's not going to do anything because it's clutched. But I've worked on a lot worse. Is there still oil in it? Still oil. It's not the best looking oil. It's clean though. I'm not super familiar with how to get this shit. Alright, it's gonna fight. We're gonna leave the brake fluid alone for now. Belts are in good shape. I think it's missing a belt there. Huh. Yeah, it's missing I guess that's just extended capabilities there, but it does not have a belt. All the paint is exploding off of the water pump. That's probably a good sign. This thing has paper gaskets in it, but I'm pretty certain there's no oil leaks or anything like that. Well, not the best. Oh, there we are. Well, accelerator is free. Probably shouldn't run the accelerator pump if this thing has it. Can't quite make the choke move, but the choke is slightly open, which isn't the best. There's probably rust on one of the cylinder walls, so probably going to need to pull the spark plugs. Spark plug wires look to be in decent shape, but probably going to need to pull the spark plugs, buy an endoscope, check in there, make sure stuff isn't totally rusted, and then try and turn her over on the crank bolt. I wonder, just for shits and giggles, if there's water in the expansion tank. I bet there is not, but it'd be funny if there was. Nope, bone dry. No. Yep, bone dry. Just looks like there's some dampness on it. So anyway, there's the innards. I don't think I have too much work ahead of me, but now that I've said that, I've jinxed myself, so I'm sure I'm going to have to pull the water pump. And I pray to the Lord above that it is not as bad as the Mercedes cooling system. My original goal was to get this thing running and drive it to to my grandfather's house, where my parents are retiring to. Well, retiring. My dad's been retired since I was born, but where my mom's retiring to. But I don't think that's going to happen, just because my dad wants to get there in the next 2 months, and I want to take my time with this. So I think this bad boy is going to get trailered and towed there so that me and him can work on it together in peace, except it won't be in peace because we'll be yelling at each other the whole time, because that's how we work, and that's how fathers and sons should work together. And here's the first thing that Dad's let me do to the vet. This is the old spare. I believe from what he said, this was the factory size tire. This is a 215 60 R15, and this has been the spare for God knows how long. and I just broke both of our backs, pulling that tire off of that rim, well, a tire off of that rim, and then swapping that for the spare, because that was the spare. This is a like early 2000s Nissan Frontier 15, and it had a 215 65 R15 on it, which is what Dad has on the Vette now. So first step in this whole process is he let me change his spare tire. How considerate of him.
When I added them, he used to have a conventional exhaust. It's got 1980 Corvette mag wheels in different size tires. The hood is different. It had just a flat hood. So this is a hood with a cold air box, they call that. It sucks air off the windshield.
Yeah. If it sucks, why'd you put it on there?
They say for every the formula, it's like for every so many degrees cooler you can get air going into the carburetor, you get X amount of horsepower. So like maybe it's like for every 10 degrees you get 1 more horsepower. So instead of pulling 300 degree air off the engine, it's pulling 70 degree air off of the thing, so you get 23 more horsepower or something like that. Okay, the hood, wheels. You see those little fender flare things?
Yeah.
Those are stock. They didn't come with ones in the front. The front like this. So go down and look. So go down and look at the surface. These are kind of made out of Bondo. Made by Jameson.
Yeah, I can see some of the sanding arcs.
Because you see these are like hollow in here.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like flat, and they have a chip-resistant surface.
Oh yeah, I see.
A
Wow.
chip-resistant surface under the red paint, so it doesn't chip the paint out. It's got kind of a flexible.
I'm recording you, by the way, for posterity's sake, so I can remember this later.
There's one more change.
What are in the engine and the transmission?
The engine is a 1969 either truck or Corvette engine. And I bought from Napa. Just a short block. The rest of it's original to this car.
Is it a 427 or a 454?
27.
Okay.
Chuck's yellow Corvette had a 427. I pulled the engine out of that. And then we had problems with it and I bought a short block. Okay, the other one is, two more things. That little cushion I showed you inside.
Mm-hmm. The armrest?
Yeah, the armrest. Also, Corvettes did not come with a right-hand side mirror. I was able to find one it's got little rubber inserts that are down in here that are holes drilled in here, and this is screwed onto it. It needs to be tightened up a little bit. They just pull them up like a molly. So it's nice to have that. And then this one you'll probably be able to see without moving this tin.
Is that the thing for the rear exhaust where you covered that up?
Yeah. So they had. Yeah. Can't see it anymore.
You gotta look through the
So it used to
fish
be right
tank.
here. They would have it had two semicircles. I bought this panel in the middle is from a car with side pipes, so it went all the way to here, and then it had a half of a semicircle right there, and I had that filled in.
So it used to look like this and have a chrome bezel with the exhaust sticking out. And so I took that and I bought a new piece, and so it ended up like this, and I just had to have this part filled in. Here's the antenna for it. The antenna hooks up right here once the car cover's off. I should have looked inside. Like going back in, I should have looked inside to see if the CB stuff was still there.
Oh, for the radio?
Yeah.
I'll poke around real quick. Now I'm curious.
Underneath the glove box.
I can see. You have to pull this corner up. I was CB radio.
Underneath the glove box, there would have been an U-shaped bracket.
No,
I don't see it.
I don't see anything.
And the power cable would have been tucked in behind there somewhere.
I do see some exposed wires. No, I don't think he had it in here. Or you took it out a long time ago.
Right. Yeah, before we move the car, we'll probably have to put the battery back in.
Well, definitely. You can't use the... Well, we'll have to put some brake fluid in it, probably.
There's the other change I did too.
Oh, hey, here's a panel.
Huh? That was the other change I did.
You got a panel right there.
Where?
What the hell that's from?
Point to it again.
Right there.
Oh, that's the little kick panel that goes right there. Look at the other side.
Okay, I see.
You can see the other side in front of the door.
Yes. Ah, gotcha.
Had to move that, and had to loosen the center console because there's screws that go in from the side.
Let's go down.
Button on the side all the way, 3/4 of the way down.
There it is. You have to lift up.
See underneath the window, there's a little lever.
Yes.
If you pull that, a little tray drops down, and there's 2 bags in there, leather bags in there that go. The T-tops go in. And the T-tops sit in the back, and that little tray, the window. Look at the top of the window.
Alright, you got side post.
See the top of the back window. You see the 2 little latches.
Yeah.
Undo those, the window will pop out, and you stick it in the little tray.
I'm looking. Yep, there are indeed 2 leather bags in there. Alright, so...
Anyway, before you shut the door,
Alright, I won't shut it.
it had manual windows in it, and I put power windows in.
I was wondering why you had
And
window cranks over there.
And since I did that, it had holes in the door. So instead of spending $300 a piece for door panels, I bought 2 of the 1980 silver anniversary emblems and put them over the holes.
Ah, there you go.
And I bought a new
Smart.
console. The console, the power brake, the parking brake lever in the middle.
Mm.
You see, those are the 2 buttons for the thing. Also,
Oh.
this isn't a change, but look in front of the shifter. On the center console of the dash, you see like some little plastic circles.
Yeah.
Fiber optic lines run to every light on the car, and when the lights are on, those light up.
Ooh, nifty.
So like if I hit the brake lights, there's 2 little red lights that light up. If I turn the parking lights on, there's orange ones that light up. They have fiber optic lines that run. When I had the accident, and over there on the front right hand side, it broke the fiber optic line.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a piece of,
Are these the fiber optics, the big fat ones?
no, they can't see them. The little tiny things. The line was broken, the fiber optic line.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it to stick back together to get it good. So I got a piece of fiberglass rod, and I drilled 2 holes in the end and glued them in each side, and then taped it so that the light would shine through the thing.
It still worked?
So yeah, it's a little bit dimmer than the other ones, but so it's over there, like behind the wheel on that right side.
Hmm.
See the carpeting that's in there?
Yeah.
That's what that piece up there is. It's same kind of stuff. It's
Where's
that
that?
one
Oh,
carpet
yeah,
you
that
pull
guy
down
up there.
And I have 2 seat covers in boxes in the attic. New old stock seat covers.
OEM?
Yeah. And then also up there, this right here.
Uh-huh.
That's the original steering wheel from the car.
Oh, nice.
I put that's the other thing. I have a 19. See how much smaller the steering wheel is?
Yeah.
This is the original steering wheel from the car. And I've got one that's like 2 inches smaller from a 1980 Corvette. But the
Racing wheel.
This is a pretty cool one.
I like that.
I thought I might have got rid of this, but I'm glad I didn't. The other thing I've gotten rid of, see this right here? This is the thing that goes around the 3 boxes in the back,
Okay.
in case that ever breaks. And I've got trim pieces up there. See, this is what the center console looks like.
For the automatic?
Yeah, for the power windows. I got it mostly to have the switch. This one's cracked. Came out of somebody else's car, but I got it so I'd have spare switches.
Oh, okay, so that's just for the parking brake.
Look what I found.
What would you find?
I know that, I know that one's
Perfect. Oh man, well hand that to me. We'll throw that on the seat and we don't forget about it.
I know where it is.
Okay, well you'll forget about it again.
No, that's probably why I put it there, so I would remember where it was. And then there is a big variety of stuff in here. This is for the speedometer to go in. This is tachometer one. This is center console one that's broken, but it's got all the cocks and everything in it. This is a hood shroud. Upper or low, I'm not sure which. Every one of these
Fan
boxes-
shroud?
Yeah, for the fan shroud.
Okay, you said hood shroud.
Every one of these everything in these boxes are pieces taken off of other Corvettes that I saved for parts.
And then everything over there on that shelf is all
And all
spare
this stuff-
parts?
This is mostly engine stuff and bigger things like springs and motors, and this is all the little stuff I have in here. There's speedometer cables. Here's a center console where the shifter goes through. See, these are the little
Yeah.
lights I'm talking about.
Is that the original one, the automatic?
Yeah, this probably is.
Yeah. Because it doesn't have
yeah,
it,
it's a-
yeah, it
it's a
doesn't have a
slide.
tree there. It's just got the.
Slide, yeah. I pulled the thing off of here and put it on there. It's got an ashtray, cigarette lighter.
Ooh.
But let's see, this is where the lights are. License plate, tail light, and it should be another set up here on the dash. It's for the front lights. Speedometer cables. There's tilt and telescopic steering wheel interior. Like all kinds of shit. You almost build another car. Well, I took Chuck's '69 Corvette that was wrecked and I stripped it. And everything came off of it I put on the shelves. All those things there, it's like all the trim screws from the whole interior of the car.
Jeez.
I took all the screw screws out and put them in there because they're all.
How many
specially sized for the-
dozens of different size screws are in there? Well, I mean, like in the Jeep, there's like 10 screws in the whole Jeep.
All kinds of cool stuff in here too.
Oh, are those speedometer gears?
Yeah. See, they're all marked with numbers. So when I put new tires on, I changed it. So I went and bought a whole. These were like $1 a piece, and I bought all of them. And I went through. I had like, I don't know, maybe an 18 on there or 20. So I said I tried a 21. And that wasn't close. I tried a 22, and eventually I would drive down the road at 60 miles an hour and it'd be 1 minute exactly. So I have the whole set. I can probably figure out which size I have on. There's 18, there's 19, 20, 21, 22, there's 18, 23, whoops, I don't know what that is, 21, 24, 25, and this is probably the original one that came out, so looks like maybe
That's the only one that looks like it's worn.
so 25, 24, 22, 20, it must be a 17 or a 26, one or the other.
Would you say you put bigger tires or? Yeah, because that one I pulled off was a 60, and these are 65s, aren't they?
It originally had GR 70 15s.
70 15s. So you went to a smaller tire then.
Yeah, I went to
So you would have had to have.
It's really close because I went to a 215 65.
Yeah, so you would have had to got a higher tooth gear then.
Yeah, so it's probably a 26 or something like that.
What's the the original one
I don't know.
was, I don't know,
Never
whatever.
mind.
We won't worry about it.
These are
Vacuum line
vacuum
connectors.
These are a lot of times since it's a
The
fiberglass
self-clips.
car, they slide over and you put screws in. These are mostly for the doors. This one holds.
Something that's.
door handle cranks. It
Ah.
snaps in behind there. And all the specialty little nuts and stuff. I'm not sure what it is. Little grommets or something.
More grommets.
So this is kind of like what's in the door. I have a couple of
Oh,
these
they
for
have
the mirror.
brass screws in them. Yeah, they are threaded.
So when I drill holes, I put these in, and you put a screw in, and it squinches it up like a molly. So
And
through
crack your
just-
fiberglass.
So it doesn't.
And
crack
it doesn't crack your fiberglass, and itself vibration
There's a lot of
dampens.
trim screws and they're like this. There's a bunch of these nice little chrome ones with particular thread patterns. These. That's all the interior screws.
Those just look like regular hardware
Mhm.
screws. For holding on your sparkulator wires.
These are for the license plates.
Radiator mounts.
Ooh, what is that? I know those. I can't think of it.
Oh, firewall things for the harnesses.
Yeah, I think so. Square one has a particular PVC valve. Goes into the thing where the PVC valve goes in.
PCV valve.
Yeah.
Switch
Switch
dinguses.
covers for the antenna. An extra mount thing. There's little washer things. Fuses, wing nuts. Plastic nuts.
Acorn nuts.
Fuses. Ooh, these are nice. Oh, I have some of these in the door. Thing that shuts your
Oh,
lights
buzzer.
off.
Oh,
I got extras of those. That's it. I stripped everything off. Light bulbs. All
You can
these
hold
things are pretty much.
damn spare Corvette except for the body.
I think the only thing that I got rid of from my original car was the wheels. I sold the wheels with the rings and the center caps. So somebody wanted them really bad. I got a good deal on it. I think I might have traded them for the mags or something, partially. Steel wheels, and they had a chrome ring around the outside, center cap. Might have one of the center caps.
One,
somewhere on the
two,
shelf.
3, 4. So is it half dozen screws to get the dash back in, a condenser, brake fluid, free the
1, 2, 3,
free the cylinders,
4,
and
5. There's some ones that hold.
bypass
The steering
the.
column is dropped down, so I have to put the steering column back up, and then there's a cover plate that screws in there. The center console has screws going from the side. Yeah. So put the interior back together. Roll the car outside in nice weather. Open all the doors. I can go sit in there and I can do it all in a half hour. But
Yeah.
until that, and then put the condenser back. I'll probably put the condenser and the and the rotor cap on. And then we need to probably maybe flush the fuel and
Yeah, I'd say we
belts
just
and-
bypass the fuel tank, just to hook it up to like a jerry can or something, just for test. Then drain the fuel tank, put new stuff in it, because you said you never put ethanol in it, correct?
No.
So we should be able to flush the fuel tank out, and not have to worry too much about varnish.
I
So I think-
pumped up the tires a couple of years ago because they were almost flat.
Yeah, well, they're still holding air.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
It was like maybe a year ago. They were down pretty good.
I mean, the rubber actually feels fairly decent. I mean, they're sharp,
That's
but
why we pulled out from underneath. Was the
oh, yeah.
the older spare? It was still in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Okay. Scrub it down really good. Get all the cobwebs out of it. Get another battery.
I don't think it's too much more work. We just have to hope that the
It uses
carburetor is mostly
uses
free.
a side post battery.
Yeah, I saw that. You had the little doohickey. So we can pull the one out the Yazoo. Go steal it from Bruce. Actually, that one would
See
probably.
the side of the hood. Yeah, that's what engine it had.
Yeah, I know. I was confirming that it had a 427 and not a 454. Your 427 isn't straight.
Yeah,
see whether or not it was a light or something you were getting at. I mean, there's more important things than the light, I guess.
It may have been the
What the hell
light.
is this? There's like another condenser-looking thing down here.
It may have been the light, it may have been the speedometer cable, it may have been both. Whatever was bad, I fixed and then didn't put the dash back in. Something happened. Like, I don't know, maybe Mom was on the way to have you or something like that, and I was trying to work on it with Mary Grace.
Well, you got a 93 plate in the back, back behind the seat, so.
It was the year you were born.
So, yeah, that's probably. Well, you've got 1193 on there, so.
Yeah, so
Sometime between November of '92 and November of '93. It was I was September, so.
Yeah, so something happened. Oh, Nana.
Oh, Nana died.
Yeah, see, I got interrupted because of those more important things happening, and then I never got back to it. So, life interrupted.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't move
Oh, do you have like a?
Don't move everything because
I ain't touching nothing. I'm not moving any of your screws buried in the floorboard down there.
They're all in position. I know where they go.
You've got some harnesses down here that are unplugged. You see 2 lines here. Well, this guy's plugged in. There's like a condenser looking thing that's just sort of laying there. I don't know what this guy is.
Probably just stuff that gets stuffed up in there. Don't touch
Some sort of like spinny doohickey thingy.
it. Show me.
Hold the flashlight.
Can't see it.
It's like 3 potentiometers.
Oh, that's the lights.
Okay.
They should go up on the left-hand side of the dash somewhere.
Oh, I bet it just mounts right at the bottom of the steering column.
Right, it does.
And then there's 1 light bulb hanging down.
Okay, that's probably the one I replaced. I'll have to go ahead and figure out which one it is.
It's not burnt out, as far as I can tell. I guess speedometer probably.
Yeah, it could have been.
That's the closest thing it is.
The speedometer was out, and there was a couple of lights at the same time. So
Unless you had lights in your air vents.
no, lights go behind the dash, behind the speedometer. So it's already 5 o'clock. All right.
All right. Enough research for today. Alrighty, so now I finally know why she's parked. Reason why she's parked and never been moved is because my dad was working on it, and then my mom's mom passed away shortly after I was born, and that's why she got parked, and he just never had a chance to get back to it, had to drop everything he was doing and help mom deal with that. And then after that, when I was about 5, I believe, we had the carpet in the house replaced. And when that happened, just as the carpet guys had finished up and they were getting ready to leave, the car wouldn't start. Totally dead, no spark. And when my dad started going through the diagnosis procedure, first thing he said was, well, probably the condenser. Let's try that first. So he went in there, pulled the condenser out of his car, went over, slapped it in their Chevy van, car fired right up, and he said, just forget about it. And they took off and left, and he just didn't have an extra condenser, and that's what he was excited about with this guy, is that he had a spare condenser. And that's why the car never got driven. It's just because he never got around to fixing the dashboard, getting that back in, or replacing the condenser. Just had other things to deal with. You know, I was probably 5 at the time. My sister was 10, and life just got ahead of him, like what happens with a lot of people with their cars, with their, their cherished classics. And here she sat for the last 20 years, hadn't been running at least 25. So me and Dad are going to make a concerted effort to bring this old girl back around and hopefully drive her out of here. Alright, well, here's where she's going to sit for now. This is just sort of an intro video, I guess, just introducing you to the old vet, and getting some stories from my dad about all this. And next video, we're actually going to be working on this thing, so stay tuned. Don't know when the hell that's going to happen, but it'll be happening eventually, I promise you that. Remember to like, comment, and if you want to see the rest of this story, make sure to subscribe. If you don't, You ain't gonna see more of it. I would say stick around if you want to see more trash, but this thing actually isn't trash for once, which is weird and novel for me. So until next time, I'm out.